ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is Yuri Giacomelli, founder and managing director of the Circular Business Academy. I'm having a pleasure to host a very interesting person, one of the most experienced experts in the field of sustainability and the circular economy across the European Union. May I introduce you to Karin Huber-Heim, the director of Circular Economy Forum Austria. Hello, Karin.
Hello, Yuri. Thank you for having me.
We are about to engage with dozens of small and mid-sized companies from the Alpine space who are engaging with circularity and are ambitiously approaching new horizons. And I would like you to give me two aspects and to dig deeper into them that are of particular concern for the SMEs, which are, as we know, the backbone of the European economy. And in the Alpine space, it's even more so. The SMEs represent not just the bedrock of our prosperity, but also represent the key pillar for the social cohesion in the Alpine space. The first question that I think is particularly important for the SMEs in the Alpine space and across the European Union is why they should be particularly vigilant with what is happening around them and has been opening new opportunities towards the circular economy. What is happening upstream and downstream their value chains at the moment, and what can happen if they don't look both ways, in your view?
Thank you, Yuri, for this relevant question. Actually, questions. Let me start. Why business and why SMEs? You mentioned their backbone function. 99% in the EU are SMEs. They function as a multiplier towards politics on the one hand and towards consumers and citizens on the other hand. This is a very relevant position that they have here. And also they have this middle position as an SME. They are very much in the supply chains of large corporations. Large corporations around the globe have already picked up on the circular economy to make this and integrate this way of thinking into their business model. From IKEA to Coca-Cola to Unilever, all the large corporations, you will not find one, maybe some coal companies, but you will not find the consumer-driven companies, you will not find even the B2B ones, you will not find anyone that is not interested in circular economy and not experimenting already, not having pilots, not exploring what the business opportunities and what the possibilities could be for them. Which means that as an SME, you are always part of one or the other supply chain of a large corporation at one point, or very often. So for those SMEs, this will be a topic rather sooner than later, because the larger corporations will want to know which kind of materials are you using? Where do they go? How long do you use them? How do you put them together? How are your components, even if you are in a B2B situation, how are the components put together and designed so that we then can finish a product that can be taken apart, repaired again, reused again, refurbished, remanufactured? So even small SMEs need to know about the material components that they're using, how they put them together, how long they can stay within function. And this is something that for most of us has never been a question. So I mean, everyone used the material that was the best price and the best quality. But now this needs to expand. It's no longer the best price and the quality. It's the longest, the longest endurance, or the most, how mono can I make a material that used to be a multi-dimensional material, for example. So this needs a lot of experimentation on everyone's side, and those experiments really also need to be considered, or let's not call it experiments, it's rather an exploration. I think we need to know more about supply chains. We need to have a holistic view on the supply chain. Please do not think about quarter. That's not a holistic view on a supply chain. We need to put a lens on that has all the upstream effects and inputs, but also all the downstream effects and impacts that are caused by a product, whether it is just a component that feeds a bigger product or service, or whether we as an SME provide the full product. So this is really the future that I see coming, and this perspective on the entire supply chain of a product, of a service, is really essential. It's an imperative.
So nobody's going to get to the circular economy alone, right? It's a collective effort. It's actually, it has got a very important social dimension. And it is important to know how to start on our own, and how to start with others. How to engage with others upstream or downstream the value chain, being our suppliers, our buyers, end users, even though we may not have direct contact with them. And as SMEs, this is quite often the case. What would you advise to SMEs owners or managers who are aware of this complex cross-sectorial value chain setting, let's say, that you have described as a very dynamic and changing, how to get into this experimentation and exploration mood in order to make the most of the early experience that they are going to acquire through this process?
I would call it curiosity. I think curiosity is the basis for innovation. And SMEs are actually the drivers of innovation. Innovation does not come from the big giants. It mainly comes from the smaller sailing boats, the smaller companies who are more agile and they can move around the market much better. And this kind of innovative spirit of having, being in the mood for finding out new things, not doing the same over and over and over again and hope it works under different circumstances. That's actually not an SME spirit that is around. I think SMEs are very much and highly qualified to enter a new way of thinking much easier than large corporations. That's like, that's like being a big tanker. Decisions take a long time, impact takes a long time. As an SME, all your decision ways are shorter. The strategic decisions can be taken faster. And in this way, this is an absolute advantage for circular economy and for circular business models. Because if you start to rethinking the way you do things, and your decision ways are shorter, you can easily launch a pilot, start a project, and see what happens and what works. And out of my experience, especially a younger generation of high talents that we need in economy, are very open to this, and they love to do things in a new way for their future. because it's their future actually that we are going to produce all those products and business models and processes that we redesign. This is their future when this is going to be really there. So they should own it, make them part of it, take the young people in your company and bring them together and make them think about it. Bring in some mentors, bring in those who can take the decisions, and bring in those who know a lot about the business. But everyone needs to be open, and it's really good to promote and to foster cross-sector collaboration and cross company collaboration. So yes, you can think about closing your own loops. Yes, of course, but it won't take you as far as we need economy as a whole to be taken. And circular economy is really a beautiful and wonderful experience, a collaboration experience where you can learn from and together with others to develop new things, because this is new to everyone. This is not something where some countries or some regions or some businesses or business sectors are already really good at. And don't let yourself distract from the waste management industry, who will tell you we've been circular all our lives. No, this is just a small circle at the end. But we need to bring value chains all together and not just create one cycle at the end of life of products. This is not enough. It's great. Bring them in based on their knowledge, but create something new. And this can only be done together. And there is this beautiful saying: you can walk alone and you will be faster, but if you walk together, you will get further and you will come a much greater distance. And this is what we need. We need to come further.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So indeed, treasuring talent, finding soulmates outside our immediate organizational circle, setting ourselves in cooperation mood, and above all, creating a proper environment that would actually allow and encourage collaboration within and outside our organizations could be a good way to approach. And certainly I understand we are in an early stage, so we have to allow ourselves to explore and also to learn from the first explorations. Would you agree that anything goes but doing nothing at this point? Because I believe it's really it can be a little bit problematic not doing anything, right?
It's absolutely, this is absolutely problematic. Doing nothing. I mean, it's just like if you're thrown into a river, doing nothing will just take you even faster to the waterfall, where you then hit the ground. So take the advantage of that river, take the advantage of that energy that is already around. And there is a lot of energy around for circular economy. The doors are wide open from a funding side, from the EU, from the interest of large companies, from the interest of consumers or the interest of students. I teach a lot at universities, and the interest of students, of the top talents of tomorrow or even of today, is enormous. It's big, because this is an adventure. And when was the last time when economy was an adventure? Economy was something really boring. But now this is an adventure, and you can bring in so many things from the design aspects, the social aspects, the economic and the business model aspects, the financial aspects. It covers so many aspects. It's really, really interesting and very, very valuable to start this kind of thinking and widening your perspective and your horizon, because this really can grow new business, can grow new markets, and we need this kind of innovation. As I said, not only the EU Commission wants Europe badly to be a technology leader in all of this, and this is why they see circular economy as such an important pillar. This is where we still can grow. as European countries. I mean, we're at the top level of growth, and growth is not infinite in one place, but growth can go on and on and on once we take those cycles, and once we collaborate with markets where technology at this point may not be applicable in this way, but circular economy also has proven to have low tech possibilities that can enable circles and reuse and repair, and can enable participation and new jobs and new business. So this is really a thing for each and every SME to think about it, because there is something in for everyone, and this is what I love in circular economy.
Karin, the very last question. The post-pandemic period is on the horizon. Historians teach us, after such periods of discontinuity and atrocities or casualties and challenges that we have all encountered through this period, nothing stays the same. Things unavoidably change. Can we optimistically expect that the post-pandemic will see an acceleration in the processes, both on the regulatory side as well as on the side of the user pool and overall overwhelming support for the circular economy as such, not just in the value recovery, but also in rethinking how we live, in rethinking what we consume, how we consume. Are you on an optimistic side, or are you rather wary about that?
I guess you would call me an optimist. I rather call myself a positivist, because I can already see this happening. It's not an will it happen after the pandemic? It's already happening. A lot of companies are already working on rethinking the way their industries work, the way their business model works, the way their whole sector collaborates. I see this happening in so many sectors besides the waste management sector. I see this happening in a lot of sectors where resources are getting scarce, or it's hard, or has been before proven a challenge, and through the pandemic it's been proven up to impossible to make those supply chains work or continue to feed them, because not only for the distance, but also for other reasons, like political issues in certain areas where those resources come from. This is a driver, because we already have all those resources. Let's talk about rare earths. Let's talk about minerals. Let's talk about metals. We already have a lot of this within our circles. Why do we throw it away at the end and give it off out of our hands? So a lot of industries, big industries, start to think about that, or have already started. This is a lot of consideration in the technology sector, but we do have all the knowledge. We have the money. It's also not a money issue. And just think about the whole digitization issue. Does anyone ever ask, how much does it cost? And is it a return on investment? Yes, because if you don't take this investment, you will be out of business. It's a risk of ignoring rather a return on investment. So, and this refers the same to how you are using your resources. And this is just a question. How are we using our resources? How long do we keep them? And this wasteful behavior and the waste society needs to come to a quick end. And I think the transfer to the society still will take some time, but I hope we can make it quickly. Because we need society, citizens and consumers to be on our side and on the side of the companies. This is why I count on business being a multiplicator to make this understandable, feasible, and livable for consumers and for the society that we all are, to get to know those circular business models, and that this is something good. This is something that creates a value also for me, not just for the business.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The care for resources has been traditionally high on the awareness of the people and businessmen across the alpine space, of course. And I hope, and I'm convinced, there's a big opportunity that the alpine space becomes one of the best examples of cooperation on the road towards the circular economy. This was a very precious dialogue with you, Karin. Thank you for your time and your thoughts.
Thank you for the invitation, Yuri. I'm always happy to take part in this.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.